Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Corona Cast. Oh wait, that's not our podcast, but it may as well be, am I right, Judd?
I gotta talk about that actually.
Damn right.
I gotta talk about that.
I know shit, you know. I know things. I know things that you've not told me because you were saving it for the podcast.
I know. I imagine that Dad would probably tell. There it is. There it goes. I
There's
just
the Corona.
expelled it.
Before we get into that, I want to apologise if there is any audio issues. We were having some audio issues earlier. It might be some buzzing on my microphone. It might be a little bit of clipping depending how loud I am. I don't know. Hopefully it's fine. This podcast is going to go out regardless of any audio issues. So if there's no audio at all, and you listen to the audio-only version, well, that'll be fun. It'll just be a blank audio file. So it's going out regardless, and if it's like a massive problem, if it really destroys your ears and you don't like it, then let me know, and I will try and sort it for next time. If not, I might not bother. Anyway, now that's out of the way, Judd, you missed a podcast last week because you were ill.
Yeah.
Not that it matters, because I've not uploaded the past two before this anyway yet. But you were ill.
I was.
Elaborate.
I was ill with COVID. You see. So, I got ill. I started feeling ill. So this will have been. I suppose this will have been last Sunday.
Last Sunday.
No. So not the Sunday just gone, but the Sunday before that, I started feeling ill. So I think this is the 24th. It's second now. So I was feeling ill about then.
That's
the day after the
24th
Monday.
was a Tuesday, just so everyone knows.
No, it's just I'm looking at it. Oh wait, no shit, I've gone down the wrong way. Sorry, that's January. I mean the 29th. No, 22nd is when I'm.
How many times can someone count and let us know?
No,
Tweets badly. How many times Judd got that wrong?
22nd. So on the 22nd, I started feeling ill. I went into work, and this is why I think why I thought it wasn't COVID, because I was being sick at work. Like I threw up, not a lot, but I threw up a little bit. So I was thinking, I'm just ill. So I went home, and then I rested up, and then Tuesday I went into work, and I really shouldn't have. I went into work, and I had a full day at work. I forced myself through it. I was like, right, I've been sick, so it's not COVID, so I'm gonna force it through.
Why did you think you can't be sick from COVID?
Because that's not supposed to be one of the symptoms anyway. At
not
least
one of the main symptoms, but it can definitely make you throw up.
Okay, I just thought I was ill. I just thought I was.
You didn't
sick.
Google it or anything.
I did, yeah. It was saying that the throwing up's not a symptom of corona.
Did it say throwing up is not a symptom?
It said that, yeah.
No. It just didn't mention it as an explicit symptom, did it?
Let's have a look. Should we have a look?
No. This is because that's boring as fuck. Just tell us about the rest of the adventure.
It's saying it's not, but whatever. So I went into work, and I shouldn't have done, one, because I had COVID and I didn't know about it, but also I was feeling really fucking ill, and I should have probably just stayed home. But
isn't that part of the problem with your job? Do you essentially just not get paid for any time off you have?
Yeah, because I'm self-employed, so that's another thing. Christmas is coming up, and I wanna have money, so I wanted to go to work. But anyway, I said to him before I went home, I said, if I feel this bad, tomorrow, I'm not coming in tomorrow, and they said that's fine. One of the things that started to make me worry, that made me think, holy shit, maybe this is corona, is I was walking around with like this thing. You sort of like wear it on your back, and you use it to spray water on the ground. It's so that like dust doesn't kick up when you're sweeping up and stuff like that. So I'm walking around with one of them, and I walk into one of the room, I start spraying it, and one of the fixers, this Russian guy called Alex, he starts retching, and he goes, "Fucking hell, that water smells like shit!" And I went, "Does it? I can't smell it." And he went, "How can you not fucking smell that, man?" And I'm like,
it sounded just like that.
Yeah. And I'm like, I can't smell that. So that maybe that immediately I was like, okay, that's a bit worrying because one of the big things that they're saying is you can't taste and you can't smell.
Mm.
So basically, I went home and on the Wednesday I was like, I still feel awful. I'm not going in today. And then I was like, right, there's literally a walk-in COVID testing center like just behind my house. It's really close. So I'm like, right, I'm just gonna go up. I'm gonna book in and I'm gonna go up and just check. So I did, and I went in. It was a bit of a surreal experience. This I don't know. I don't think you did this. I don't think you got tested, did you? Because you
No,
didn't
I
have any
didn't need to.
symptoms. But I went in. I walked in, and everybody was like, it was all really like I don't know how you'd describe it, but it was you had to do everything exactly like to the letter.
I think, I think Jasmine mentioned when she got her test on the test, you know, when she sat in for you that one time.
Yeah.
And it sounded like to her that she just went to a parking lot and someone did something to her. It didn't sound very legit, though.
It was. That was just Dodgy Dave, weren't it? He just,
Yeah.
But no, it was really good, like how it was all handled, and I just basically had to stick like a Q-tip on my tonsils and then up my nose. But
What, you did it? Someone
Yeah,
else
I
did do
did.
it for you?
No, I did it. I did it all.
Oh.
They're not going to start messing about with you if you've potentially got COVID.
Well,
So
they do in lots of places to make sure that you do it right. Because otherwise, you might not dare put it far up enough, you know, stuff like that. So.
Well, no, I mean, there was a guy stood there watching me do everything. So
Oh.
if I did it wrong, he's like, no, you're gonna have to do that again. One of the things as well is when I stuck the Q-tip in my mouth, he said to me, if the Q-tip touches your tongue or the side of your cheeks or the roof of your mouth, anywhere else apart from your tonsils, yeah, you have to do it again. You have to do it again. Like you can't have any other sort of things messing with it. But I did it. And I gave it back to him. I had to like put it in this test tube and put it in a separate baggie, and then I had to put it in this bin so nobody went near it. And yeah, I got the message the next day saying you've tested positive for COVID. So,
and what did you think when you got that?
I didn't really know what to think because I was like, the immediate thing was I started worrying about my nan and granddad. That was the immediately first thing was like, oh no. But they're fine. They've been fine. I managed. I've kept away from them all this time.
Well, they very much might not have it. When Jasmine had it, she didn't really keep away from her mum and her sister who were also isolating. And they never even got it because they both got themselves tested as well. And they never even caught it from her.
My granddad got tested as well because he was feeling a bit achy, which that for me was the worst thing about it. Is on the Tuesday and like the Wednesday and Thursday, I felt like just hurting moving hurt so much. Like I was just in agony. So that was the big thing. So granddad, I think, was starting to feel like that on the Wednesday, so he went up and he got himself tested. He came back negative for it, so he never had it. Nan's not shown any symptoms at all, so she's fine.
But as they isolated anyway?
Yeah, they both isolated. Today's actually the last day that I need to stay inside. So from tomorrow, I'm allowed to go out. I'm fine. I'm not showing any more symptoms, and they have to stay in for, I think it's another 3 or 4 days. So,
and do you think you will get another test to make sure? Well, I suppose, will it come back positive or negative though if you get another test?
Well, I don't know. The thing is, I'm not actually entitled to one because I'm not showing any symptoms.
I know, it's all a bit stupid, isn't it? Surely you would have to have a test to make sure that you've not got it anymore.
But I'm showing no symptoms. I feel fine. To be honest, the worst thing about it was the aching. What's annoying me though is I honestly do not understand why we're locked down because of this. Because I know that for some people it is bad. I know it's a look of the draw thing, but if that's the case, you're telling me that this is a disease that only affects some people, and out of those
Very
some
little people as well.
and out of those some people, it only puts you in a position where like you're basically bedbound. And I mean, I wasn't bedbound. I was aching and it hurt to move, but I could still get about and do some stuff.
Well, you still did a day's work, didn't you?
I still did. I still got through a day's work.
And that's like manual labour as well. It's not like sitting at an office chair.
Yeah. So I still managed to get through a day's work. So it only affects a certain amount of people to the point where they can't do anything. And even fewer of those people are actually dying from the fucking thing. I don't understand why we're locked down because of this. I don't get it. It just feels like...
Do you take the stance of we should only people who should be locked down are people who have any potential it could affect them?
Yeah, I think... Well, I don't know. I don't even know if it's worth that, because there's other things going around. There's other things that we've had to deal with all our lives that could fuck up other people that have underlying health issues. Like my mum's always had asthma since she was a little girl. So if she got like the
Sorry,
the flu,
I just giggled at your mum having asthma.
What? I don't know why.
It's because I always find it silly when people who've had asthma all their life take up smoking.
Like, yeah, that is pretty
like,
funny.
What the fuck? That's like
that is
someone in a
funny,
wheelchair just trying to stand up. It's like them just maybe this will work this time. No, it won't. It's like it's like someone in a wheelchair, right, where their legs have been disabled since birth, chopping their legs off and thinking, now I'll be able to walk. Or thinking that that's going to be any better for them. It's like
I know, but whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't understand honestly why it's. But people keep going to me. Well, but it does hurt. It does really affect some people. For some people, it does. It really gets them. It's like, okay, so you're talking about what? What percentage is this? Like that actually get it?
It's kind of. We are not experts, and we're often very wrong. I just want to say that. Don't hate us for this, for anything we say. We're idiots, but this is what we understand so far. And it's like it's just kind of, I don't know. It's just another disease. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just another cold or another flu. And other people say, they try and say things like, it's not just another flu. Old lady Susan down the street died from it. Yep, she did. Yep. But that doesn't make it not just another disease. And that also, just because it's just another disease doesn't mean it shouldn't be fought against either. Obviously, all of them should be worked against, and should have been worked against a lot more than they have been in previous years, as a bunch of the smartest people have been saying for a long time, for like 5 years or so. People have been saying, we should be working on medicine much more. Like, these diseases are kind of bad already. Like, and we kind of just overlook them. And that's what this is. It's one of those. And if you're not going to lock us down for those, they shouldn't lock us down for this. And they should just put, essentially, it's like that Bill Gates did a TED Talk, didn't he? Basically saying that we should have kind of like a military plan, like we do in case war happens, but for disease. And we just don't. So how have you been locked down for 2 weeks then, since you were diagnosed?
Yeah, so since the day of me being diagnosed, which, so no, it wasn't since the day I was diagnosed. It was from since the day of the symptoms starting, when they said you need to start.
Well, I'm fucking glad that we don't do this podcast in person. Jesus, that'd be awful. I would have had to isolate again.
No, yeah, today's my last day, and I feel fine. To be honest, for the last 3 or 4 days, I felt just fine.
And have you had to like contact, sort of tell anyone that you've been in contact with to isolate?
No, because I've not really been in contact with anybody. The only people I've been in contact with are the people that I've been at work with, and they're only supposed to isolate or take tests if they're showing any symptoms. So no, I told my boss, and that was pretty much, and I only told him really because I'm not showing up for work. So no, not really.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not getting paid for going to work as well then for something that's pretty much not your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really sucks, man. You boast about your job a lot, but that is fucking awful. You can't have a holiday, really.
No, not a paid one anyway. I can book time off. I can go in and say, look, I want this day off, and you know that if I'm not taking piss or anything, they'll be like, yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, see, I have like and most jobs have a given amount of time you can take off, and you just, you still just get paid the same amount each month. So that really does suck about your job, but yeah, that's part of it. Have you got any idea where you might have caught it from?
That is what confuses me the most, because I've no idea where I could have got it from. Because honestly, all I've been doing, it'll probably change from tomorrow because everything is sort of opening back up. But all I've been doing is going to work and coming home. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
You must have got it from work then. Someone else at work must have had it.
There must have been like a carrier or something, and just not showing any symptoms. I don't know.
Strange. But if I were you, I wouldn't, just because things are opening up again, I wouldn't go to anything for like 5 days or so. I wouldn't like go to like your model club or anything. I know like you can and you're allowed and that sort of thing, but I'd just leave it a bit. Like you've just finished having it, so I wouldn't go to a socialising place like that.
I mean, I can't anyway because it's only open for you can only shop in it. You can't like have games, so
yeah,
it won't matter anyway.
If I were you, I wouldn't be going to any shops or anything like that anyway. I'd just use it as an opportunity to be like, right, I'm allowed to like go for runs and things like that now. I can, have a bike ride, have a walk, all that sort of thing. You could maybe see someone at a big distance, that sort of thing. But I definitely wouldn't go in any shops, things like that for a little while. At least another few days I would give it. And again, it's not because I'm sort of with you on what you said. It's not because necessarily we should be locked down for it, but thing is, they are locking us down for it, and I don't want to be locked down for it. Do you get what I mean? It's more fighting idiots than an actual virus at this point as to whether you're allowed to be locked down or not.
Apparently this vaccine's getting rolled out, and
yeah,
I think it's older people that they're starting off with.
Well, that's what we're going to ask you about next.
And granddad. Yeah, my nan and granddad are going to be one of the first to get it.
They'll not be. They're not old enough, Jude. It goes, the first people who get it, I looked it up on NHS website earlier, and they've only planned a few sort of steps. So first people to get it are people in care homes and the workers there. Then it's people over 80, and they're not that old, are they? And then it's healthcare workers, so that's like NHS and all of that. So those are the only ones they've planned so far.
Sam will be one of the first to get it then.
It depends what they're doing in there, because technically I'm an NHS worker, but I'll not be one of the first people to get it because I work in IT.
He's a social worker. He works with all the older people and the people with the mental retardations. So he doesn't always work in the care home, but sometimes he gets put in the care home.
Right. Well, maybe
it works with like dementia patients, older people, or people with things like autism. That's why he spends so much time.
Can you help me out a bit, or oh, we both did the joke. We both did it. That was good. I liked that. But yeah, no, this what do you think about this virus? Because it's been the most debated virus I've ever seen.
Personally, I don't get what all the fucking fuss is about.
Well, this is the thing. Any other virus that's ever been any vaccine that's ever been developed, like, oh, nice, we've got a vaccine for it. But somehow this one, people are like, don't know about that.
I find it hilarious, people that are saying that they're not going to have this vaccine, because the same people that are saying that they're not going to have this vaccine because they don't know what they're putting into the body are the same people that are snorting fucking MD at Corp on a Saturday. It's hilarious.
I think it's mostly Karens, if I'm honest.
Well, no, I found that it's usually fucking bagheads that are just like, oh, you don't know what you're putting into your body. It's like, are you serious? I saw you fucking snorting coke round back at Sainsbury's the other day.
What were you
Like-
doing round back of Sainsbury's with all the coke snorters, Judd?
I was snorting coke. What?
No.
No, it's it's ridiculous. And to be honest, at this point, they could come out and they could say, if you take this vaccine, it's going to cure you and you're going to be able to go out and do stuff, but it will make your cock shrivel up and drop off. I don't care. I want to go
I'd
back
have
out.
no cock for that. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not using it anyway, to be honest. So just it's fine.
I don't know.
Just
You
let
must
me
have been
go
doing a
out.
lot of wanking lately, Judd.
Yeah.
No, it seems all good to me, especially with the information I read on the NHS website. It's had to go under all of our health checks that anything would have to go under. So stuff that you take a prescription for if your doctor gives you. That you literally know as much about that, and it's been tested as much as that, and still been proven to be very effective, minimal side effects, just like anything else you would take. So, and obviously people are saying, well, they've not seen the long-term effects. Well, what do you want to do? Wait 20 years and then roll it out? Like, what's the choice? What else are we gonna do? There's nothing else has worked. What, we're just gonna be in lockdowns for 20 years on and off? It's like, come on. There's no, and plus, so tell you what if there's just something weird about this vaccine, and it means that anyone who's had it in 20 years just drops dead, straight up drops dead. I want it still. I still want it. It's like,
yeah. To be fair, 40 for me is I don't want 40 years on this earth. I do not want 40 years. I'll go when I'm 30.
Well,
Yeah,
it just
I got
doesn't.
enough in 9 years to me.
The planet could do with
a.
a few billion less humans anyway, couldn't it? So it's like...
I tell you what, it could do with a whole lot less of me in it. So fine, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. Obviously, once again, we are idiots. We could be very wrong. But it's quite likely actually. But that's just kind of what we're thinking. And if you think we're very wrong, feel free to tweet us at tweetsbadly, and we'll probably never see it. Or at least Judd definitely won't.
We won't acknowledge it anyway. We'll just pretend that we were right and nobody contested that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll just pretend next podcast that no one said anything and we were right.
yeah.
Speaking of the podcast, Judd, good old Tessoteric, long-time listener of the podcast, and sometimes tunes into the live version of the podcast at twitch.tv/gamesbadly, and maybe even he might even sometimes watch it on YouTube, the Games Badly YouTube channel, as well as listening to it on Spotify, which is his preferred option. But you can also get it on Apple Music. That was a great segue. I might wipe to that segue later. That was really good. So he has listened to our podcast this year for nearly 1,000 minutes.
Oh my god.
So shout out to Tessoteric.
Why would you do that?
If next year when the Spotify Wrapped comes round, if anyone can beat 1,000 minutes, you'll have to remember from this podcast, because we sure as hell fucking won't. It might not even still be going by then for all we know. But if it's possible that you listen to this podcast for more than 1,000 minutes, by this time next year, when the Spotify Wrapped thing comes round, then tweet us at tweetsbadly, so we can see it, and we will give you a shout out or some shit. If it's a particularly impressive amount, we might even give you VIP. How many minutes would they have to listen to get VIP in Twitch for that, Judd?
I think how much Tesso's listened to is worth VIP.
He's already VIP.
He's already VIP.
Yeah.
That's fine then. I don't know.
No, I'm thinking of a lot of fucking minutes, because people could just leave it on. And 1,000 minutes is not hard to do by just leaving.
I think one
we don't
minute's
have many
one
VIP slots.
minute.
If someone can listen to our podcast in the year 2021 for 10,000 minutes, I'll VIP them for as long as I see fit is what I meant to say there. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I've got so much to talk about on here, Judd.
Go on then.
I've
got so much to talk about.
I'm just trying to decide what's worth doing next. I'm trying to pick things that are quite fresh. I think I'll start with this. That today, Judd, I tried to buy a house.
Did you actually? You tried to buy one?
Yep, legit.
Wow.
Did it all good. We placed an offer for a house. It's many monies to spend on a house. Put it that way. Houses are expensive. We have not bought an expensive house, but it's still fucking expensive. And the thing is, you'd think that the just buying it in the first place thing is the expensive bit, and don't get me wrong, it really is. But it's the monthly expenses. Fucking hell, monthly. How much it costs to have a house. It's insane. So to put it in perspective, I get paid about 1,000. It's nearly 1,300, but I think of it as 1,200 because it's like 1,286 or something like that. So I just purposefully forget about that 86, just, because it's better to think you've got less money than you actually have. So for argument's sake, I get paid £1,200 a month. I pay 200 and a bit, 220-ish on my car every month. And normally I'm left with about I'm normally left with about £1,000 a month that I can spend on what I want to spend it on. But with this house, and bear in mind again, not an expensive house in the grand scheme of things. It's worth about a third of the house I currently live in. I would end up with, if I'm lucky, £370 left over after each month, which isn't that close to what you get paid in a week.
Yeah.
But if you were buying a house, then yeah, it'd be the same. And Jesus Christ, it's so expensive. And you know what's one of the biggest things? I'm gonna get up my my finances spreadsheet I've done for this, because I had to make a spreadsheet to, make sure I could actually afford to live in this place. Obviously, the most expensive thing each month is the mortgage. It'll be not much over £500 for the mortgage. And there's two of us, so it's split between the two of us. But do you know what the next most expensive thing is? It's food. Food is so expensive. It really is, and that's not like budgeting to be able to get like a nice chunky McDonald's every meal. It's like that's budgeting at just less than £5 a meal, which is not crazy at all, is it?
No, not really. No.
No, like I always spend over twice as much as that at McDonald's. If I ever go to McDonald's, I'll spend maybe like 11-12 quid. So I was like, holy shit, food's expensive, man. But I did remember, did I tell you about that special supermarket that I'm allowed to go to because I'm an NHS worker?
Yeah.
I did remember that you can like bulk buy like chicken, breaded chicken breasts and stuff, like a massive bag, like a 2 kilogram bag for like £1. And that's like, 10 meals right there. So it might be a lot less than that. The next most is my car, but yeah, there's other random stuff that just feels like it's like money going nowhere. For example, council tax. Because obviously that's a tax that the government then uses to do government things. But because it's not for a specific thing, it feels like just money just going somewhere. Just like disappearing. Because for stuff like gas, electricity and water, you see the benefits of that, don't you? Internet, you see that you can use that. But stuff like TV license, fucking hell. You have to spend £150 on a year if you have a TV that possibly could play BBC channels. Even if you never watch any BBC content at all, if your TV has the capability of playing it, £150 a year. How insane is that? How the hell have they not moved that to like a subscription service similar to like YouTube Premium, where if you go on the channel, it says to view BBC programmes you must pay £12.50 a month, because that's what it works out at, by the way, £12.50 a month. Netflix costs less than that, and think how much more you can get on Netflix than BBC.
Yeah.
It's mental. It's absolutely mental. They need to update that archaic fucking system. It's insane. But the reason they've not is because they can con people into having to pay it.
It's just, yeah, they can abuse the system because basically they had a monopoly and a stranglehold on it for so long that basically got to write the rules, and they're not going to rewrite the rules to fucking make sense because it just earns them way too much money. So
well, it's because it's government intertwined. It's because it's illegal to not have a TV license for it, and I don't think that should be the case. That's the type of thing that should be privatized. And the thing is, I would so much rather just BBC just work like all the other channels and just have adverts, because they stick their own adverts between programs anyway. I'd rather them just have adverts, and I reckon they'd make more money from that as well. Maybe they wouldn't, because otherwise they'd have done it by now, but I don't know. It's pretty stupid. It's crazy, the amount of money that it costs. I could end up each month with between 270 to 370, depending on how big bills are and that. Left over each month. But to be fair, this is going to be like the most poor I will be in adult life. Well, not necessarily. It might not be, but like it's likely to be the most poor because you know like it's when you're right at the start of your career, you're paying off your first mortgage, all that sort of thing. You normally earn less than that, don't you? But it's So house, it's pretty cool. It's it's an end terrace house. Which means that one side of the house is not attached to another. Obviously, probably some dum-dums who don't know what end terrace means. It's probably Judd, actually, is the dum-dum that doesn't know. So, which is good, because I didn't want to be attached on both sides, because obviously we do stupid shit like this, which is quite loud on an evening. Sometimes we might even do it at like fucking midnight and things like that. I might be screaming at Apex at like 1 a.m. So I wanted to make sure I wouldn't be disturbing people much with noise. So that's why I wanted... Preferably, it'd be a detached house with a basement, but that'd be fucking expensive. So we obviously couldn't afford that. The most we could afford was detached on one side, and then the room that I would be doing that stuff in would be on the detached side. So it's got a hallway that you go in, and then you turn right, and it goes into like quite an open plan living room, dining room, and then there's a kitchen. The door to the kitchen's like right there as well. It's quite big. This will not mean much to the viewers, but the living room, dining room sort of combo, which we wouldn't have one as a dining room, it would be just kind of almost an extension of a living room, is bigger than my living room in this house.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's pretty good going, isn't it? It's like it's the size of Dad's living room, dining room. It's if anything, it's kind of like it's a little bit narrower but longer than that. So it's like that. That'll give you a good idea of how big it is. So there's that. Then it's got 3 bedrooms as well. One of which would be turned into what we're calling a media room. So it wouldn't have a desk in or anything like that. It wouldn't have a bed in. It would definitely have a desk in, because that'd be for a computer. We're painting a wall. Well, if we get it, we have put an offer in. We'd be painting a wall green for a green screen. Things like that, because it's my house. Not just my house, but I can do shit like that. It's like stuff that's so why I really want to move out, because it's like there's certain stuff that you can't even ask to do when you live at home. Like, can I paint my wall green? Can I just paint my wall green, please? Because they'll just go, no. Why are you doing that? So yeah, it's for things like that. So there's a media room. It's pretty big. It's bigger than the media room. Is probably the size of my room now. Obviously, I've got cupboards behind me that actually you can't see on the podcast, but it's not got those cupboards in the media room, but it's like the same size as this room that I'm currently in, which is great, because obviously the only thing from this room that I'd be putting in there is this desk setup. I wouldn't have to have a bed and I might have I'd probably have guitars in there, but I wouldn't have to have like this cupboard here and things like that. It'd just be for setup. That's pretty cool. And then there's a slightly smaller room, which would be a spare room for you to, lie in drunk. Whenever you're around, whenever you've not got corona and you'd be around at our house. And it's great because you'd just be sleeping on my grotty mattress on the floor anyway. So that's pretty good. It's probably about what you're used to. You might even get some scabies from it, which should be quite nice for you, wouldn't it? You'd quite like a few scabies.
Have my little children living in my flesh, yes.
Yes. Okay, and then it's got like a pretty decent sized master bedroom. It's quite good, which has its own bathroom as well. It's got a little bathroom with a shower and a toilet and a sink in it. The bathroom off of the master bedroom is not big, but it's fine. And then it's got another bathroom as well, like a separate bathroom to that, with a pretty nice big bath in it and things like that. It's got a cellar that we can keep stuff in. You can only keep stuff in it. It's not really, you couldn't really do anything else with it. And a good chunk of the attic is boarded, so you can get up there. So that could potentially be turned into something as well, depending on, what we want to do. So, yeah, it's got a garage and a driveway. It's got both, which is also great, and there's room to park a few cars there, which would be good for you to come round when you eventually pass your fucking driving test. Yeah, we've put in an offer for it. Hopefully we get it. It's scary, but we wouldn't be moving into it until April, even if we do get it, because the owners of it are waiting on a house that they're buying being built, so they can only move into that once it's built, which isn't too bad for us because it helps us save up some money for like solicitors and other random crap that's boring. But yeah, we might have an actual, essentially streaming room. Let's be honest, it'd probably be used for that more than anything else.
Nice.
So that come on, I mean, anyone who's into this channel must be happy with that. That like, I've managed to fandangle my way into a streaming room in my house with a female. A female has let me have a streaming room. Think about that for a second. And she's providing the TV and most of the shit that we'll be using in the house as well. So that's pretty good. I have had to sort it all out, though, and it's a complicated and a pain in the ass. Which brings me on to something else. Just stuff that, like, why is none of this taught at school? And I know I bark on about it so much, but fuck me. Oh, my God. It's insane. And the thing is, I think part of the argument is that school's supposed to help you find a career. It's supposed to educate you to find a career. Yeah, well, how much money do you think people who are organising my mortgage at the minute are going to be getting? How much money do you think the solicitor I'm going to be paying is going to be getting? Because it's going to cost me £1,000 just to let them do that.
Yeah.
For them to do some paperwork, it's going to cost £1,000 because they're going to be on well more than £10 an hour. So surely it's worth teaching in school. It's like a really big industry. And you wouldn't even have to teach just houses and mortgages as a class. You'd teach it as like a big module in citizenship. It's crazy, and how all the tax works for it and that. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know. I guess I shouldn't bang on about that too much, but it's kind of insane that more stuff like that's not taught in school. How is the driving lessons going, by the way? 'Cause I'm guessing you've not had one for 2 weeks at least.
Well, I've not been able to do them anyway because the country's been on lockdown, hasn't it?
Oh, is that?
So,
the thing is, they say it's been on lockdown, but it's not. It's not been a proper lockdown this time,
really,
has it? I don't actually know whether you're allowed to have driving lessons or not.
No, they told them that they weren't allowed to do them because there was
Right.
no way you could possibly socially distance during it, and it's not
No
seen
driving
as
tests, anything like that, I guess, then.
Nope. So it's been put on the backlog again, and I think it's starting back up now. I need to actually message her and see what's going on with that, see when we can start up again. But
It's a
no,
good
I've
job
not
you've
been
not
able
had
to
a
do
test booked then, isn't it?
it. Yeah.
Because I know Jasmine, it was a nightmare for her to manage to finally get a test with all the lockdown and things like that.
It's not fucking good.
Yeah.
It's not good right now.
It'd be very good for you to get driving sorted at this point, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about buying first cars and things like that at this point, so I think I'd be able to help you quite a lot with what I think's a good idea for buying a car and what to do with that. Because I've learned plenty about it. I wouldn't recommend. You've got enough money to do what I've done with my car, definitely. And then you'd have like a brand new car. But the thing is, I would not recommend that for you, and I wouldn't have wanted that for my first car either. Because fucking hell, even now after I've driven a long time, it's like I'm constantly like, I don't want to scratch it at all. Like any if there's been grit, like the grit vans put like salt rocks down to stop in case there's any snow, things like that. Those have been going down, and just driving on gritted roads, I'm like, oh fucking grit rocks flying everywhere. Like, you know, like I can hear him on the door, and it's fine. It's not scratched or anything, but I'm just like, no. I don't know why I sound like a character from Snoopy or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's kind of been like that. It's kind of like that, so I wouldn't do that. That you can lease pre-owned cars as well, which would be interesting to look into. But I think if you scratch them or damage them or anything, that would be a problem if you leased them. So it seems like car auction might be a good one for you. Just quite fun because you can get some right shitty cars for like, well, no, not shitty cars, like cars that run for like really cheap. So in theory, if we had enough money, I'll not have enough money because I'm getting this house now, but if we ever had enough money, we could go to a car auction, buy a couple 200 quid cars, and just do whatever the fuck we want with them, really. Just kind of like, I don't know. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. I suppose it's not particularly important for you during Corona stuff, but if this vaccine works and everything,
yeah,
you could really do with passing it, couldn't you? And that'd be good because you could come over to at that point. By the time you'd have passed your test, I'd have been moved into a house. You could drive over to my house. We could, fucking play PS2 on in the living room, just like we used to on the old CRT TV. That'd be great. Oh, that'd be so good. It's such a good layout for like parties and things like that as well. We'd have to have like a barbecue sort of party thing there.
Yeah,
brilliant. How's I got a phone call from Dad last night. This is why I knew about your Corona adventures.
Yeah.
I got a phone call from our dad last night at like 20 to 10, asking me if I'm at home because he wanted to drop us off our advent calendars. And I was like, oh, okay.
He dropped mine off yesterday. So I'm really fucking yawny. I don't know why.
Oh, you little yawning baby. You little yawning baby. Eat your advent calendar.
Challenger. Yeah, he dropped mine off. He dropped mine off yesterday. It's really fucking nice. I think I'm guessing
it's just nice chocolate in it, isn't it? It's like,
yeah, but usually advent calendar chocolate tastes like cardboard. So it's
this is the thing, our dad, he fucking loves advent calendars, doesn't he? He's a big one for advent calendars. He makes a point of making sure we've at least got an advent calendar from him every year. He loves it, and I don't really care. I'm not really that bothered. It's like a little chocolate thing you get every morning. I can go without, to be honest. But he's like, no, I'm bringing your advent calendar. And I'm like, oh, all right. And the thing is, he normally doesn't like do shit, like he's always late. He don't come round to our houses for any reason anymore, really. But he does for the advent calendar. Like, he makes sure he's got the advent calendar done. It's pretty, I don't know, it's just quite a funny boomerism, really. My mum's kind of been a bit like that as well. But something I've noticed, and kind of one of the things I've got on my list, is just advent calendars in general, because like you mentioned, when we were kids, an advent calendar was just like shitty chocolates, and it had a themed sort of picture on the on the calendar itself. Yeah. That's it. There was no other, unless you'd like made one yourself out of like a cloth or something, but you'd still just put little chocolates in it. Like that was all it was. You might have like some people might have like they'd made one themselves that they'd been using for years, since like the 80s or something, and they'd just put like a Quality Street or a Celebration in each one.
Yeah.
And they'd kind of just make a DIY one. But normally it'd just be like fucking Paw Patrol tastes like an actual dog treat type of looking ass, So, that's normally what it used to be. But the thing is, now more and more, and I've noticed it's not just necessarily this year, but I think this year, because of online ordering and stuff like that, people are getting so extra with their advent calendars, aren't they? They're getting very extra, because even the ones we've got are fucking extra. Like, I've got two, and normally you'd only have one for a start. Normally, if you'd got one, no one else would get you one. You just end up having one. We would end up having two because we were at two houses. So we'd open one at our dad's and we'd open one at home. But most kids, like wouldn't get like one from their grandma, one from their uncle, one from their mum. You know, they'd just have one. They'd just make sure they had one advent calendar and that was it. But now people end up having like 3 each, and they're all like crazy stuff. So, for example, it's so common for this that my office centers all around a little Christmas treat, and the Christmas treat that everyone got. That wasn't Judd's Corona, that was actually me. Was an essential oils advent calendar. Do you know what essential oils are, Judd?
Yeah, the oils that aren't really essential, are they? They're just
No, they're not essential at all. They just kind of smell funny. That's all
they're just weird, funny smelling oils that women seem to love rubbing on their faces. Which women, if you want a funny smelling oil to rub on your face.
Yeah, so it's that, and it's nice of them. I like it. I appreciate it. The thing is, for me personally, I don't fucking care about essential oils. So I immediately just went downstairs and went, there you go, Mum, you'll like that. You're a middle-aged woman. And she did. She loved it. But the thing is, this is the thing. It's 24 of these little vials of different smells and stuff. You know, it's something like over the top. It comes in this big box, and I was like, oh my God. And that's just like a throwaway gift that my office sent to us. The one that our dad got us is a bit more normal. It's like Lindt chocolate, so it's like nice chocolate, and it's the ones who make, if you're in the UK, it's like that golden bunny. You know, that people will know the golden chocolate rabbit, won't they? It's like the people who make that, the people who make those Lindt sort of there's like chocolate balls that people like. And so it's nice chocolate, and it's got a bunch of their like different chocolate products in it, essentially, isn't it? Which that is quite extra anyway. It's like nice chocolate. It's got miniature versions of all their little, you know, products and all that. It's like, what did you think when you got it? Rather than getting like Paw Patrol dog biscuits.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I found that the best ones are always ones that are like Maltesers and Galaxies, ones that are actually coming from people. But yeah, you get like the Paw Patrol ones, and they just taste like cardboard.
But yeah, even like your standard Star Wars ones and things like that taste like that, don't they? But
yeah,
there's so many like non-chocolate ones as well now. Like for a couple of years, I've got these yellow ones, Lego ones, and I really like the Lego ones because it just gives you a little Lego thing to build every morning, which is quite nice. I like that one the most. And to be honest, I threw away most of them. To be honest, in that advent calendar, half of them can't tell what it is. A quarter of them I just throw away anyway because I've just not got room to put that many little Lego figures around. And then I might keep a few of them. And those are still my favourites, which is a bit strange. When I broke my arm, essentially over Christmas I had a broken arm. I used to love opening my Lego advent calendar because it was so nice to have something to do that wasn't just sat looking at a TV screen because I couldn't move. I was fucked. So I would just like sit. I'd open my advent calendar and it'd be good as well because it'd take a bit more time because I'd only be able to use one arm to build it. I'd just use only my left hand to build these tiny Lego figures, and that was good. But the other one I've got this year, which is what my mum got me. Sorry. I wiped the top of I've wiped some dust off my setup as I've been doing this. It keeps going up. It's gross. The other one I've got that my mum got me, it's not even got all the days of Christmas on it. It's only 12 days rather than, you know, obviously normally advent calendars have 24, 25, don't they? It's only got 12. I don't know why it's only got 12. It's a bit weird, but it's a hot sauce advent calendar. So I like my hot sauce. I like spicy stuff. And there's 12 different little tiny vials of hot sauce to try all the way until December. And this is the thing with these advent calendars. They're just becoming like other things. It used to only be chocolate, but now it's like all sorts. Have you seen any weird ones?
I've seen... I mean, yeah, like I've seen stuff like that. I think I saw one once which was like a... oh God, what were it? I think it was like different flavors of condoms or something. but yeah, there's They do come out with some weird ones. It's just a cash grab at the end of the day, isn't it? But I don't know.
And-
I think
And
some
here's a
people
quick
like it.
list of 28 weird advent calendars. Should we decide whether we would like these advent calendars or not? So go down.
Go on then.
So there's 12 beers of Christmas from Brewdog, which is
I
it's
mean,
only
yeah.
12, but it's beers, and yeah, I really like Brewdog as well.
Mm.
There's Friends Bath Fizzer Advent Calendar. Friends themed bath bombs. That can fuck off. Would you like Friends themed bath bombs, Judge? You're not saying anything. You're keeping quiet. You're secretly thinking, I really want a fucking advent calendar, but I don't want to admit it.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I fucking love bath bombs. So-
Yeah, no, I like bath bombs, but I don't
Would I-
want
would-
I don't want
would-
12 of them, and I don't want them to have Friends quotes on them. This is an
Oh,
£18
yeah.
advent calendar.
You're all right. Actually, £18 for 12 bath bombs. That's pretty fucking decent. That's
You know
good
they're going to
value.
be shitty bath bombs, though, Judd. Come on.
If they're shit
I'm not
bath bombs,
into
then
it.
fair enough.
I
then.
want the Brewdog one instead. The Brewdog one's the same price, so I want that.
Oh well, I'd rather have the Brewdog one.
Oh, get this one. Harry Potter 12-day sock advent calendar for 30 quid.
I'm alright, thanks.
I'm good. I
Though,
don't
to be
need
fair,
12 Harry Potter
my-
themed socks. They're all right.
my-
They look fine.
my
but-
socks are always fucked from work. Like my socks are just shredded. So
yeah.
12 pairs of socks actually wouldn't be that upsetting.
For £30 though, I would
No.
rather just
No,
go to
no, no,
Primark
no, no.
and get like plain socks. I quite like just white or black socks because if they've got like a pattern on it, normally it kind of fucks up your outfit a bit. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know what's in this one. Kellogg's cereal themed advent calendar. I think it's got mini cereal bars in it,
Yeah.
and there is 25 days on it from what I can tell. So that one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, there's I think it says there's 24 Kellogg's things and 2 Pop-Tarts in it. That's alright, £16.50. It's quite expensive still, though, if you think about it.
I don't know, £16.50. I don't think so. I don't think so for £16.50 now.
I guess it's about right, because I think a normal length cereal bar could be about, 70 pence? So then, it might be a little expensive, I'm not sure, it's alright. Oh, this is the one I've got! It's 12 Days Chili Lovers Advent Calendar. It was £13. It's 12 hot sauces for £13. That's not worth it. It should have been cheaper than that. If it were like £8, you should see the size of these vials. They are very small.
I'm guessing they're tiny, yeah.
It's one meal's worth of hot sauce in
Yeah.
each bottle. So, I mean, if you're really into hot sauce, which I kind of am, it's good. Like I like it, but I don't know. It's still not worth it. But it's kind of worth it for me, but not really in general. 25-day sock advent calendar. You can get 25 pairs of Christmas-themed socks. That's definitely what you want to be wearing in July. For £60. No,
Christ.
I do not
No.
want. That's a big no from me. Personalised a date a day advent calendar for £30. If you've got a partner, £30 is a lot for it because you don't actually get something. It's just date suggestions. You could probably just like Google. I mean, I can see like 6 of them here. I could probably just read them off of there and do them. You know, spending money on stuff like that feels a bit of a waste.
Yeah.
How about this one? The Snaffling Pig Corporation Pork Crackling and Beer Advent Calendar.
Oh, well, actually, how much?
It's got, how many days is this? Hold on a sec. Right, so you get, I think you get half beers and half bags of pork scratchings. So I'm guessing it'll be 1 day beer, 1 day pork scratchings. Pork, is that what they're called? Pork scratchings? I've just the dust is still here. It's £66.
60 fucking hell.
So that's a lot into it. You can get a version without the beer for £18. But that's still a lot into it, really. If it's half the days.
Yeah.
If it's still 24 days of just pork scratchings, that's alright. But nah, that's a lot. It's a good idea, but glow-in-the-dark candy advent calendar for £20. Now, does the candy glow in the dark?
I was just going to say.
Glow in the dark? What is this? I have no idea. It doesn't say how many days it is, and it's £20. It's from Harrods. It's probably overpriced.
I'm all right, thanks. Because even if it's just, I don't know, from Harrods, I feel like whatever they're using to make the cardboard glow in the dark is probably already seeped into the chocolate. So
I think it's a candy one. I've got a feeling that it's the candy that glows in the dark. You know, because it'll be like gummy bears, like gummies or something. So, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, there's a Funko Pop advent calendar. You know the mini Funko Pops you can get?
Yeah.
It's got those in, and it's Nightmare Before Christmas themed. And you get 24 of them. It is £60.
Right.
Which, so, I'm thinking if you're quite a big Nightmare Before Christmas fan, that's probably quite good. If you're going to display all those somewhere.
Yeah.
If not, it's a bit of a rip-off. It's something I'm noticing with these. You either have to be really into what the advent calendar's about, and sort of be able to practically make use of it. Otherwise, it's kind of a rip-off.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a niche thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, God, what is this one? This is crazy. Personalised Adventure Awaits Keepsake Advent Calendar. Let me read the description on this one. With Christmas taking place in the midst of a pandemic this year, with many of us possibly missing out on sharing the holidays with our loved ones, we could all use a little positivity and hope for all the adventures we'll have in 2021. This personalisable advent calendar does just that, with a set of uplifting symbols and words such as hope and dream engraved into 12 different pewter tokens, plus an additional 12 notes with messages such as "The world is full of magic and wonder just waiting to be explored."
Wow.
An oak display block with the words "Adventure Awaits" can be added with an additional cost. It's £90 without the wooden block. Oh my God, Judd! This is literally a slab of wood with some. You know that game where there's the triangle, the circle, and the square for kids to put a shape through?
Yeah.
It's that. It's that with just some smaller, more shapes on it, and you just put these little metal things in it. That's not even an advent calendar. I've been betrayed.
Yeah, I was just gonna say nothing about this sounds like an advent calendar.
Well, I think you're supposed to open these like paper note things, and it's got another one of the tokens with like a word that you want to have on it. We could get this and put like dick on it, semen, you know.
Yeah, see that to me that's worth £90. So
and you just fill in the holes, which. You know, that makes it even more sexual. Anyway.
Fill in the holes with dick and cum, yeah, awesome. I would pay £90 for this.
How about this one then? 12 Days of Christmasks Advent Calendar. This is
right.
12 the face mask things. Not face masks for COVID, which would probably be better than this if I'm honest. Like, like the rejuvenating them things that they slather on the face and it's supposed to be good for your pores or something. 12 of those for £42.50. What a fucking rip-off that is. That's shit, that. Yeah, I would rather it be actual corona masks. Anyway. Oh, God, how does it get worse? Oh, it gets worse, Judd. 24 selfies to Christmas advent calendar.
Oh, get it off.
£45.
Stop talking about it. We've been talking about fucking advent calendars for 15
for
minutes now. 15, 20 minutes.
And all it is a bunch of shitty cardboard props to take a stupid selfie with. That's crap. Next, the Child/Baby Yoda advent calendar, £13.
No, please.
It's filled. It's filled full of Baby Yoda themed tat. It's all crap.
You know, that's the one thing that genuinely gets me really fucking angry. That anything to do with Baby Yoda, it genuinely infuriates me.
Dude, it has Baby Yoda dog tags. I think it's Mandalorian themed. It might be Mandalorian dog tags. I don't know. It's just cringe, isn't it, though? It's just kind of cringe. I have to say, there's a few things in here that aren't terrible. There's like a Mandalorian helmet pin badge, like a Baby Yoda pin badge. But there's like pencils and like pens and, those snap bands that you like snap on your wrist. It's like those. There's some fucking. It looks like what looks like shoelaces.
It's a load of tat and shit that you're gonna get rid of in 5 fucking minutes.
There's some stuff that you might originally be deceived into thinking is like kind of cool, but it's not. For example, there's like some stamps. You know, like an ink stamp, where you can stamp like the Mandalorian symbol and stuff, and it looks well made. It looks kind of cool, but when you think about it, what are you gonna do with that?
Yeah,
like that is just tat, really, though. So, no, I'm not interested in it. I want the pin badge and then the dog tags for a meme, and that's it. Oh, how about this one, which I'm sure all the Karens will end up buying? Personalised dog biscuit advent calendar for £28. It's just
£28.
It's just a bunch of dog biscuits nailed to a wooden board. That's awful, because you have to hang it on your wall, and then your dog's going to constantly be staring at the wall, because there's treats all over it. That's just terrible. That's awful.
Yeah.
I think what we did for our last dog is we have one of what I said earlier. No, kind of if people stitch together like a cloth one, it's kind of just pockets on like a blanket essentially that you kind of hang from somewhere. We just put some dog treats in that because they're all covered up by the pockets and that, so that's not bad. But just nailing them to a board and putting that on your wall, it's constant torture for your dog. You may as well just dangle a treat in front of it 24/7.
Nail them to your dog. Nail 25.
Worry. It comes with, I think, it comes with a bauble for your Christmas tree that says "Merry Christmas, Pickles." If your dog's named Pickles, I don't know if it's not. I don't...
Only if your dog's name's Pickle. Like, if it's not called Pickle, then well, you know.
I'm guessing that's the personalised bit. Right, 24. Oh god, this is just not what advent calendars are about at all. Food Spring, fitter Christmas advent calendar. 24 days of fitter Christmas. If you want to maintain your fitness routine, we have the advent calendar for you, full of healthy snacks from protein bars and shakes to vitamin drops. 24 of them. 24. £60. Just have your little chocolate, mate. I know you want your 6-pack. Whoever's bought this, I know you want your 6-pack. But just have your little chocolate. Just have your shitty cardboard chocolate and get on with it. Stop trying to show off. Now this, Judd. Now this is good. I think it's only 12 days. Merry Pringles Advent Calendar.
Okay,
Pringles,
right.
12 days.
I like
a variety of flavours. It's £20 for 12 days. But I don't think you get one Pringle per thing. I think you get like one of the mini boxes.
Yeah.
So it's a bit expensive for those mini boxes.
I'm not paying 20 quid for fucking 12 things of Pringles. I don't like Pringles that much anyway. And to be honest, I only really like the green ones.
Thinking about it, it looks like you would probably get about 3 normal tubes worth of Pringles, which are about £2 each to be generous at the shop. So normally that'd only cost you about 6 quid, really. But anyway, we're moving on. 12 Days of Scents candle advent calendar. Pretty standard for these fancy advent calendars. 30 quid. Not interesting. Candles is a thing.
Yeah.
Just don't care. Screwdriver tool advent calendar.
How many of these fucking advent calendars is there?
There's 28.
What are we on right now?
Much like how many days of Christmas? I don't know, Judd. It doesn't tell me what number we're on. We're just over halfway. Yeah, Toolbox one. It's £54. It looks a bit shit. Anyway. Oh, God. A magical Wedgwood Christmas ornament advent calendar. £650.
Oh my God.
Lord. It's just tiny ornaments for your Christmas tree. It's too late. We've already decorated the tree. You know, it's like, what the hell? It's sold out. Why is it sold out? Did one of these exist and some rich fucker just bought it? Oh my God.
Complete idiot.
Oh, we've got another one of these. We've got another one of these tat advent calendars that's Harry Potter themed. It's the exact same tat as well, just with Harry Potter shite on it. So that's another one of those. That's worse than the Baby Yoda one. That actually, the pin badges.
There'll be a company somewhere that does them in sort of bulk orders, where it's just like, stick your product on our product, and we can we'll just sell it.
That's what.
And that's what people do.
That's one of my favorite pickup lines. That Judd. Can I
Stick your
stick my product in your product?
Yeah.
Merry Cheesemas Advent Calendar, 40 quid. You get 24 tiny cheeses. What do you think of that one?
Brilliant.
Nice. Okay.
Brilliant.
I would have that. Probably not, actually. I don't really want it. Oh, fucking hell. They get weirder. This one, there's 24 in. And when I first looked at it, I thought it was like traditional sweets. But it's not, because that'd not be extra enough. It's candles that smell like those traditional sweets. There's 24. Awesome. It gets £35. Oh my god. Okay. Retro Radio Advent Calendar. I don't even know what this one is. Oh. Right, okay. So this one, there's 24 in it. It costs £20. There's 24 in it. And each day is a part to build a retro radio. So you open it and you get your part and yes, that is a part of a radio. I'm sure excited for the 24th of December when I can finally put this together.
Could you imagine if like it was some sort of life or death situation and you had to wait the 24 days to open it all up so you could radio in for help?
Again, this is sold out. It's sold out. Why? Just buy a radio. And if you want to put a radio together, why would you wait 24 days for each part? Just open the thing. That one's crazy. Joe and Steph's Gourmet Tipsy Popcorn Store Advent Calendar. I don't know. This one seems like popcorn or gin. Behind each 24 doors, a packet of popcorn, I'm guessing a very small one, in unusual flavours like eggnog, gin and tonic, prosecco, and pale ale. It's 20 quid.
Cool.
That one seems actually pretty cool. I'm going to be honest. I've got some eggnog, Judd. Somewhere.
Have you actually?
Where is it? Hold on. Where's my eggnog? Is it here? Where did it go? I'm sure I put it in my fridge. I honestly have no idea where I put it. Maybe I didn't take it home with me. Well, I bought some anyway. Continuing.
Nice.
I drank some of it. It's quite nice. Beard oil advent calendar, £32. 24 beard oils. It's pretty stupid still.
Now, I myself have a beard.
Would you like that though?
How much was it?
It was £32 for 24. Like I'm guessing test vials of beard oil.
No, I don't care that much.
If you were gonna get into beard oil, do you think that'd be a good place to start though, to sort of figure out which ones are good?
Yeah, I guess they can be quite expensive anyway. I was having a look because I got like beard wax and some shampoo and stuff. So it can be a bit expensive.
In it. You can get beard wax and things in it too.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is fucking dreadful. This might be the worst one, right? £20, personalised Spotify Advent Christmas calendar. So I'm guessing you buy it for someone else, and each day has like a QR code in it that you scan and it plays a song on Spotify. You could send someone a playlist, couldn't you? Really?
Yeah, you send somebody a playlist to listen on different days.
That's the worst one.
Yeah.
It's sold out again! It's sold out! Who's buying this shite? I think this is the last one. Gardener Advent Calendar, £35. What's in this? Okay. 25 mini pegs and 2.5 meters of cotton. It's a bunch of gardening shit. Someone's into gardening. It'll still probably be a bit of a rip-off because it's still £35. Which one stands out to you as the worst out of those, Judd? I'm thinking either the Spotify one or the radio one.
The worst?
Maybe the £650 one.
I think... No, for me, it's either the Spotify one or the wooden block one. Whatever that
wooden block
was like
one.
600 quid.
I'm not even really... Oh, no, that one was 90. I'm not really counting that as an advent calendar because it's just not really, is it? The £650 one was Christmas ornaments. It was wooden Christmas ornaments.
Oh, yeah. That one as well, which is just ridiculous.
Terrible. So, yeah, that's Advent Calendars anyway. I thought we'd get a good chunk of content out of that, and we sure did. Because Advent Calendars are pretty fun. just before, I don't know. I think it'd take too long to talk about. I'll quickly mention it because you'll probably not be too interested, and it's quite topical at the minute. Jake Paul had another boxing fight. Did you know?
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, I didn't watch it or anything.
It's because Mike Tyson was fighting again, and he got on the undercard. So it was going to be really good because there was going to be the guy who trained KSI. He was going to be fighting because he's a professional boxer, which I was most excited for. Jake Paul was fighting this ex-basketball player, and then obviously Mike Tyson was fighting, another OG boxing guy. Thing is, though, KSI's trainer, and he's called Vidal. I'm going to call him Vidal from now on, so I don't disrespect him because he's a cool guy. The dust is everywhere in here. He had a back injury and had to pull out kind of a few days before the fight actually happened, which really sucked. But then the Mike Tyson fight at the end, it was technically an exhibition fight, which meant there wasn't allowed to be the rounds were only 2 minutes long rather than 3 minutes long. There was not allowed to be a knockout, which was kind of weird.
There wasn't allowed to be.
Yeah. There was supposed to be no knockouts. It was supposed to kind of not be. They were kind of instructed to kind of go at sparring level fight, not like an all-out trying to win fight. And there would be no official judging at all.
Right.
So there would be no official winner declared.
That just sounds a bit shit.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And the thing is, they did end up doing celebrity judging, so I think it was celebrity. It might have been it's sort of unofficial judging, and predictably it came out as a draw. Because, it was an exhibition fight.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the fight itself was shit as well. They're old. I don't know what everyone expected. Everyone's hyping this up oh my god, Mike Tyson looks like a right beast. Even don't matter how old he is, he's still gonna tear anyone's head off. Nah, he's old. Trust, he could fucking maul either of us. Easy. No question about that. But he just doesn't, the spectacle is not there. Jay Stevs here. Hey Jake and bro, how have you guys been? It's been a while. We are good, apart from Judd has had corona. You've missed most of a podcast, so you might want to go back and listen to it when it's uploaded eventually. But we continue. So the Mike Tyson fight, it was crap. Not interested. And everyone kind of thought Mike Tyson really won though. But the Jake Paul fight, he fucking knocked the dude out.
What?
Knocked
Jake
him
Paul
out
did good, did he?
Well, I wouldn't say he did good, but he did knock him out. The main problem was the guy he was fighting. He was called Nate Robinson, and it's like a ex-basketball player. Like I said, he was so bad. Again, he'd probably beat me in a fight, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I won. He was terrible. He's called Judd Stev. So. Yeah, he was just so bad. He was just trying to bum rush him the whole time, and it just wasn't working at all. He'd obviously not researched how Jake fights or anything like that, or if he had, he'd read it completely wrong. Because even from the Deji fight, Jake's always been a bit of a counterpuncher, and it was just crap. He was so bad. All it took was Jake Paul to do one sort of decent. It weren't even a combination, just sort of a couple decent punches, and he was knocked out. He was knocked down twice before he was knocked out, with two punches that weren't even very good. And it was because this guy was just bum rushing him. And the thing is, if he's running towards him, and if Jake Paul just sticks his fist out, he might knock him out at that point. So
I'm gonna throw my fist forward, and whatever happens.
I would suggest looking it up and seeing the knockouts. It was pretty interesting. But KSI tweeted kind of what I thought. He said, didn't see anything impressive from Jake. Come soon. I don't know what come soon means, but I'm guessing he meant to type reaction coming soon or something like that.
Yeah.
It was, I have to say, he did some decent stuff, but he kind of did one decent thing, and the rest of it was, it was alright. And that's it. That's all I expect from him. So I'm not. Although Jake has knocked someone out and he's won two, non-headgear fights, that sort of thing, I'm not as worried for KSI as I could be. But I don't know. It just makes it an exciting fight once again, just like it was with Logan. And I really hope that everything can go back to normal. They can have a big crowd, and they can make a big spectacle of it, because it'll be so good.
He
good.
does knock him out. He fucking flops down.
Yeah, on the last knockout, he like goes face first into the canvas. Yeah. So yeah, but again, KSI took a harder hit from that than that when he fought Logan, and went on to win as well. So it's it just once again, it just makes it an interesting fight. It really does. But that's kind of what we're gonna have to end the podcast on, because we've been going for a long while. It's been a bit of a long one because we missed last week, and there's been loads to talk about. If anyone wants to ask us any questions, once again, tweet at tweetsbadly. This'll take a little while to go out anyway, to be honest, because I've got 2 other podcasts like in the pipeline that I need to upload first. But next time, I've got some interesting topics to talk about. We'll be talking about Flash games, old Flash games we used to play. Maybe in particular Swords and Sandals.
I was playing that again recently, you know, like as the meme.
Save it for next week. And then I don't know. I've got an interesting sort of experiment I might run by you that could be, I don't know, it could be weird, could be interesting. And then I thought it'd be interesting to go through all our online orders from 2020. Like, if you've got enough on, I was thinking maybe just Amazon orders, but I don't know if you order things from Amazon. So, like, you know, I thought that'd be an interesting sort of way to look back on the year. You know, so that's next time.
What kind of products we've consumed? Yeah, sounds good.
That's next time. This has been This Time, and my name is This Time. Oh God, we're so bad at ending these things. I'm just gonna press the stop button now.